Hi guys. Yeah, so basically, this is just a quick video to kind of give you guys a first person view of our trip to Stonehenge. So yeah, let's get started. So as you can see, when you arrive, it's the thing that you want to check out is you want to check out the museum. The museum is absolutely amazing. It gives you a very sort of straightforward bird's eye view of the history of Stonehenge and the history that surrounds Stonehenge. So you get a really good summary of why the place is so historical and very significant to British history. It's not, as you can see, it's not a very big museum. It's quite a small museum. Everything's quite condensed, but you get the real sort of touching points of the main elements that pretty much make up the history of Stonehenge. Stonehenge is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So it actually brings in more than 6 million visitors a year. So it's a really popular tourist destination in Britain. As you can see here, the museum was absolutely packed. And the crazy thing is that we came in November this year, and there was quite a few people in there. So we went during a downtime. It definitely wasn't during the summer period of July, August, June, where the crowds were being crazy. So it was quite decent in the amount of people that were there. We can move around. It wasn't too overcrowded, and yeah, it was really chilled out. Like as you can see here, we pretty much got involved in how just to kind of understand the history of this World Heritage Site. As you can see here, there's all the cutlery and the pots that they believe that the people that built Stonehenge were using at the time. Also here, one thing I really liked was the fact that they did a timeline of the different architectural achievements that were happening around the world. So you see things that were being done in 4000 BC, 3500 BC, and it's crazy because it gives you sort of a scope of wow, like how human design and human creativity was evolving around the world during that time. This is way back in the day, way back in the day, and it was actually amazing to think, wow, people back then were figuring out these huge, magnificent architectural projects, and you're just in awe at the amount of human potential that has proved to show itself strong throughout the centuries. So yeah, and this is what I really liked. It was the time of Stonehenge, and it's a proper timeline to really give you an understanding of the development. So you can see the type of pots, the type of cutlery they were using, in the different parts of the area where different sort of structures were being built as well. Yeah, nice. It was definitely something that I could really sink my teeth into, because I love history, and I love to understand the things of the past, because obviously it enables us to understand the things of the future. And yes, you can see here, this is what I was talking about earlier. You can see when Athens was built, Rome, it's in the Colosseum, and it just shows you, the pyramids, it shows you all the amazing things that were happening around the world. The museum was definitely very engaging. It wasn't just words and loads of text. It was, you could actually see the actual things that the archaeologists had obviously dug up in the site and were up for display. And here you see a man that had lived during that time. So they kind of reconstructed sort of how the people looked during that time. Also here, what was Britain like at the time of the Stonehenge? So it gives you sort of a really in-depth sort of explanation to think, wow, like what was happening during that time in Britain and how things were developing. So yeah, we're pretty much looking through, and then here we're leaving the visitor center, and you can see in the distance the Neolithic huts. So these are the huts that they believed the people that built Stonehenge, this is how they lived. And it's literally just outside of the visitor center, so you can actually get a real taste of how people lived during that time. Also, another thing that's great is that you can actually go inside of the huts as well, to kind of, to really immerse yourself into the culture and see how people lived during that time. So here's a clip showing the visitor center, and also the huts just outside, and also you see the rock as well. That it's quite an interactive thing to see, to kind of give you an idea of the scale and what it took to build Stonehenge. So yeah, we're just walking through. You can see the umbrella broke because it was a really windy day. It was super windy and rainy as well. The elements were against us, but we powered through. So here we are. So basically, to get here, they actually provide buses to get to the actual site of Stonehenge, and the buses come every 5 minutes or so. You will not be waiting for a long time. They come all the time. They literally run like clockwork, and it's the transport links are really good. So basically, you can get the bus right in front of the visitor center as well. It literally takes about 5-10 minutes to get here. You could hike it as well, but we much more prefer to take the bus to at least shelter us from the elements. So we've arrived at Stonehenge, and I have to say, visiting Stonehenge isn't a full day thing. It's more of a half-day trip. You can pretty much get here by car, or I know that they organize tours from Salisbury, from London, and from Bath as well. Obviously those tours are very much in depth, but if you would like to come here by yourself, you can pretty much drive here. It's about 2 hours, I believe, from London, and the thing is that there's so much information. It's so well organized. You can easily navigate by yourself throughout the site, and get a real grasp of sort of the history, and also you get an opportunity to see Stonehenge itself. So as you can see here, there's quite a few tourists around, all obviously enjoying the sights. Again, this was the time that we went was quite a down period, but still, as you can see, it's still quite busy. So if you're the type that wants to get a really nice selfie, or have, or just be able to enjoy less crowds, go around the winter time, so October, November, December. If you want to, obviously the peak times are during the summer, which gets super busy. And yeah, here it is, Stonehenge. Seeing them in real life is actually quite surreal. It's actually really cool to see. It's such a massive structure, and you just think, wow, like how did these people during this time build this thing? There's actually a lot of there's still a lot of mystery around why Stonehenge was built. Some say it was a burial site. Others say it was a place of worship, sort of like a temple. And there's so many theories going around that are still being discussed and debated today. So here we got a few cool shots of Stonehenge, and you can see it's right in the middle of the countryside, a lot of greenery, and yeah, it's pretty cool. One thing I have to mention though is that to come to Stonehenge you actually need tickets. The tickets, they cost us about £19 each, and also there is free parking as well. So that's definitely something to look out for. I'll put the link in the description if you wish to get more information. So here we are, we're just walking back to where the buses are. As you can see in the distance, the buses are literally just waiting for us to take us back to the visitor center. And yeah, as you can see, we were pretty much just rushing to get in because it was super cold and super windy and really heavily raining. Feel free to subscribe for more travel videos and more travel. I would say it was an extreme sport. Thanks a lot, guys, to get all this content for you guys. But yeah, so we are literally about to get into the bus, and yeah, and that's it.